And we only ever met together, the three of us, once before we created the book. And we worked together online to create the book. And we, of the 8 hours that we were together, we discussed just one subject. And that was the main character's hair. Because we worked out that if we made a mistake with her hair, it would be very expensive to redraw and change everything. Whereas if we made mistakes with dialogue and things like that, we could change it easily. And in a way, that's why on the front, what you've got is that the main character's hair is, it's basically, when she's stressed, it's kind of tied up. And when she's relaxed, she lets her hair down.
But the devil truly is in the details. And if you care that much about her hair, can you imagine how much you care about everything else?
Maybe 25 years ago, you didn't really have to think too hard about defining the voice of your brand. And now, you've got 30 different brand channels, plus you've got everything else that's happening. And suddenly you need to be responsible for a much bigger volume, that's for sure, but also a much kind of smarter velocity, if you like. Things have to be happening faster, they have to be sent in the right direction. 25 years ago, you could probably, if you wanted to, define your brand voice with 4 adjectives, human, friendly, warm and approachable, and share, but you'd still be talking to your writers and just saying, do it that way. Now you've got 50 brand channels, plus you've got this greater volume, plus you've got this, so you can no longer define the voice in such a simple way.
Customer experience is having a moment right now with just exploding in growth and the consciousness that companies have around it. And we look at it and we say most organizations are concerned with what their customers would say about them, but we're finding most organizations not as concerned what their employees would say about them. And that's kind of the gap that we fill as we go in and we try to understand that visceral emotional reaction that the employees have toward the brand. As somebody told me one time, one of our clients we were talking to, and he said, the phrase he used was, "You must feel like the person that discovered that chocolate and peanut butter go well together." And I really loved that line, because it highlighted for me that in business, you're always looking for white space. Organizations, there are things that they're very good at, and the things that they're good at externally, a lot of times they just don't do internally.
Why do personal brands not actually act, aggressively enough to say we're going to own a color?
And I even love for you that you're using Magenta, because Magenta is really about harmony and emotional balance. It's an encouraging kind of calming sense of this outlook on life. And so if you were my client, then I would make sure that maybe, if you decided to wear, I'm just making this up, a navy blazer, then maybe we have a magenta, handkerchief, or magenta, lace up shoes, or we do custom made magenta sneakers. There's always a pop of magenta somewhere. Maybe it's a custom made magenta watch. That message is always running through someone's mind when they see you, like, oh, and they start to associate you with that color.
I love it.